Before we get into today's chat, I must confess something. The fourth trimester is no joke. If you don't know, the fourth trimester includes the first weeks after you've given birth. This is the time when you both and baby are adjusting to life after delivery, all the yada. But let me tell you, we are on week 13 of that, and I am literally dying. Oh my gosh, nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about how hard it is, all right? So I had a specific time to record episode 40 for you. 4 things I wish I knew I had done before maternity leave, going on maternity leave. While the actual material is good, the entire thing is just shit, I'll be honest. Oh, I'm not a perfectionist, but I wanted a different outcome, being that it's the rebranded podcast's first episode. And I had basically a 2-day window before launch day, which was October 2nd. Bear with me. This ties into today's spicy episode. I just want you to get the full picture of things, okay? For episode 40, is not only the first episode of the Teresa GT podcast, formerly known as the Golden Talk podcast, but it's also the hardest episode I've ever created on the platform, okay? So my goal for this podcast is to take you through my journey of building my business from the ground up, while also sharing insights on how I market, strategize, and even operate in my business. So to hopefully help you build yours. So when I mean something, I mean it. Life, am I right? Life is something that is just going to punch you like 3 times, but you gotta get up. So for episode 40, it took literally everything in me to record it for you. It was one of the days of the 4th trimester when everything was just against me. Avery, my newborn, did not want to nap during the day. I had to get things ready for our family trip the next day, which did not allow me to record episode 40 peacefully and in a non-distracting way for you. Amelia, my 5-year-old, decided that it was ask 1,000,001 question a day plus not eat. My husband had to go back to work and be there till 4 a.m. the next day on an airborne operation. So finally, after a day full of a shit show and distractions, the episode was recorded at 2 a.m. So yes, it took literally everything in me to record it, right? So you're probably thinking, Teresa, you could have just recorded it after you came back. Screw what everybody says. I had a commitment with you. I had a commitment to myself, and I had a commitment with my business, okay? Because that's not what people don't understand that commitment is so important. Like once you say something, you gotta do it. And what do I mean by that? This is where things get spicy. Welcome to episode 41, how to not give a shit and really go for what you want. Self-discipline edition. Yeah, I could have postponed the episode for the next day and probably recorded it episode 40 on October 3rd to launch October 4th. But what does that say to my loyal clients? What does that say to my loyal audience? To my future community? That is okay to give up? That is okay to not follow on your word? That is not how I operate, okay? That is not how I operate. That mentality of it is my business, I can do whatever I want. It's not going to take you anywhere, sis. If you think that's what's going to take you anywhere, your dreams, okay, no. So that is not how I operate my business. That is not how I structure my business. That is not how I coach and mentor. I had a commitment. It was so important to me for you. So this episode was short. Episode 40 was short. It had no oomph. There was no, there was meat and potatoes, but there was just no oomph, okay? Which was fine. But it wasn't a reflection of me, Teresa, and the TGS Marketing team, right? But because I stopped giving a shit 6 years ago, I released it into the world. And here we are. The next episode, right? And please don't confuse quality and structure with perfectionism, okay? 2 different things, because I have 3 goals with this podcast, right? To reach people that need to be reached, to lay down the message, the truth without the BS, okay? And expand my reach, right? And income, obviously. But this takes me to today's episode, how to not give a shit and put it out anyway. Go for it. Because you have goals and dreams that need to become a reality. But no one talks about what it takes for that to happen. And so people think because it's my business and I own my own time, it just doesn't mean you have to be lazy. It doesn't mean you have to become lazy and, do it later. It will let things tear you down. It will stop you from getting to the levels that you want, right? I'm talking to moms. I'm talking about stay-at-home moms. Letting your distractions, opinions of your own limited beliefs stop you from going after it. But I don't know if you know this, but owning a business the first years is not easy. There is no freedom. There is no, I own my own time and I can do whatever I want. I don't know who told you, who painted that picture for you. So you must break free from that mentality of I'll do it later because I can't. No. Okay. Not if you want to reach your levels of dream you want that you have, because I know you dream about it. So okay, this is how I'm going to do it. That mental decision of fuck it, I'm going to put it out there anyway. Even if I look like a sack of potatoes, because I was tired, guys, right? It starts with owning it. Own what you do. Realizing what is at stake. And you may think, what's at stake, right? Maybe it's not monetary. Maybe, it's something else. But it's definitely reputation. Everything is a domino effect. Reputation. So you may be, let's say, the greatest coach, but if you go back on your word, your coaching efforts will start declining. Your coaching efforts will decline. All right. It will fade away. You know what you have to do. You know what it requires to get to the next level. So one little decision it will determine how you move next. So discipline. I firmly believe that discipline comes before motivation. We could argue all day about it. All right. If there is no structure, which comes from discipline in the way you do things on a day-to-day basis, do you think you will reach levels going with the flow? Because going with the flow is like literally going to a direction with no GPS. I hate people who do that. Let me ask you this. When things go with the flow, whether it's a literal thing or even hypothetical, do you think they ever end up going the straight or the right way? There's always something like not getting there on time, right? So what does this mean? Time is wasted, therefore no impact, right? If that's what you want to do, no impact being made, therefore guess what? No money being earned. Domino effect, baby. So 6 years ago, here's a little story. 6 years ago, I started not giving a shit. Let me explain. Not giving a shit on the thoughts, all right? The steps for me to get to where I wanted to be to today. Okay, because at the end of the day, I stopped giving a shit because I was tired of my own shit. And I think that's what people need to realize. You need to be tired of your own shit to wake up. I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I was tired of not having money. I was tired of debt. I was tired of watching my parents work their ass off to do it all over again the next day. I was just thinking I was just tired of what will I do next? Who will I be next? I was just tired of my own shit, guys. I really was. So I just started not giving a shit for what I really wanted. So you know what it takes to get there, right? Stop giving a shit. So I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted a family, but the way I was going, my family was going to suffer. I mean, hello, you got to think ahead. I couldn't hold a job for more than 6 months because I was free to do whatever I wanted. Too much freedom is also not a good thing, friends. Freedom with no self-discipline is a ticking bomb to complete destruction. So I joined the military. I joined the military almost 6 years ago. And no, I'm not telling you to join, okay? But what I'm telling you is that you may have to do things that aren't fun, that aren't pretty, that could possibly physically be daunting. I was tired of my own shit, so I knew the military would somehow straighten me up and I couldn't say no easily. That's where my self-discipline started. That's where it began. That's where it brewed. But how can you start learning to have self-discipline or discipline without joining the military? Because I know joining the military right now is like crazy. But business owners, entrepreneurs, learning to effectively lead yourself and others all comes down to discipline. Happiness, success, and fulfillment stems from focus and self-control. So it may be hard to believe, but studies shown that people with self-discipline are happier. I don't know if you know that. Google it. Why? Because with discipline and self-control, we actually accomplish more of the goals we truly care about. Self-discipline is the bridge between goals defined, written down, right, on your dream book, and goals accomplished. So how do we do this? Okay. Step 1, get your books out. Step 1, know your strengths and weaknesses. Know what you need to work on. Self-awareness is like so important. We all have it, but we hardly execute. We hardly use it. A powerful tool to comfort zone expansion. Get out of your comfort zone. Okay, you can't do something, practice until you can. Can't be on time. Set however many alarms you need to. It's the weekend, so you don't need to be up early, but you need to learn how to be on time. Wake up early on a Saturday or a Sunday. Can't speak English? Well, or any other language? Well, sign up for classes. Go on YouTube. Do something. Too fat to join the military? Right? That was me. Right? Work out, run. All right? Funny story. Before joining the military, okay, I was 170 pounds. Okay. Oh no, I was 190 pounds, right? 190 pounds. And so I needed to lose 30 pounds or 20 pounds. 20 pounds to join the military. I had like 3 months to lose 20 pounds. And I knew that I needed to do this in order to accomplish what I wanted, right? The discipline that I needed was just right there at the end of the tunnel. So I had to lose 20 pounds to get there. All right. This is vulnerable. I mean, you guys know that I don't even care to like talk about things about my family, myself. I really don't care because my hope is for you to be motivated, right? All right. Be motivated. So I had to lose 20 pounds and it was just the hardest thing. The partying, the drinking, the eating healthy. Oh my gosh. It was just the most horrible thing. But guess what? Your girl did it. And on a deadline, because I had a deadline to meet in order to be able to ship or leave to basic training. It was just, oh my God, it was just crazy. So I did it, y'all. I did it, okay? Too often, people either try to pretend that their vulnerabilities don't exist or they minimize them with a fixed mindset, throwing their hands up like, oh, well, I can't do it. Oh, well, it is what it is. Oh, well, yo, like I do not like people like that. Like, know your strengths, but more importantly, own up your flaws. You can't overcome them until you do. You can't overcome anything until you realize self-awareness, what it is. All right. Step 2. Wow, I just poked my eye. Step 2, remove temptations. Remove them. So the saying that goes out of mind, sight, out of mind, out of mind, out of sight, out of sight, out of mind, right? It may seem silly, but this phrase is super powerful. It's an awesome advice, but it's a very powerful advice that the military loves to throw out there, okay? So by simply removing the biggest temptations from your environment, you will greatly improve your self-discipline, right? Now you're like, man, like, but in order for me to get there, I had to make discipline. Do you want to stay in the position that you're at or that you're in forever? I mean, I don't understand why people continue just throwing up their hands like in defeat. Well, it is what it is. Why? And then you're wishing, you're hoping, you're dreaming, to reach this certain status, this certain level, this certain something, but you can't even decide right then and there what it is that you want to do. I don't understand how you want to get there, okay? Understand. So when I decided that I was going to pursue this hefty goal of becoming a soldier, everything in my life had to change. I had to say 170 pounds. I mean, that's crazy. So the partying, the drinking, everything had to go out the window. Okay. If you want to be healthier, toss the junk food out, right? It's the trash. If you want to drink less, throw out the liquor. If you want to enhance your productivity, improve the time management of, their do's and don'ts, like just improve, turn off social media notifications and silence your cell phone, prioritize and execute. Okay. So in order for me to get to this point, I had to throw everything that was just temptation. I had to let go, like, you know what? I can't party this weekend because I have to lose weight. I can't go out to brunch because I have to lose weight. I can't eat my favorite fried foods because I have to get to this destination of becoming a soldier. So my future for what I wanted, which is today, to be met. But I knew I had to take those steps, okay? So step 3, set clear goals and have an execution plan. So just do it, all right? Just do it. If you hope to achieve greater degrees of self-discipline, you must have a clear vision of what you hope to accomplish, just like any goal, okay? You must also have an understanding of what success means to you. If you don't know where you're going, it is easy to lose your way and get sidetracked. Set the GPS on the address, set the GPS, okay? Prepare to get lost. Pro tip, remember to prioritize all the things that you want to do. So my favorite thing to do is, if I have goals, okay? If I have these urging, burning goals that I want to accomplish, that I want to achieve, I write them down. I know, you're like, oh, ready. Yes, write them down, because you have to see in order to achieve. You have to dream about it. You have to put yourself in that scene, like what it would be like. So this is what's going to happen, okay? So prioritizing all of these goals. So for example, a recent goal that I have is losing weight. So after the baby, we tend to gain a little pounds, right? We tend to gain a little pounds. But what is my goal? What is my goal? My goal is to be this certain way by December. I know. Very hard. But I know I can do it. I know what it takes. I know eating healthy. I know working out. I know walking. I know, drinking water. I know. But I also have a business to take care of. I also have a newborn to take care of. I also have a husband to take care of. I have a home that I have to take care of, right? Like all of these things, we think, oh no, I have too much to do. I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna write down what I need to do. Set a routine. Routine are so important. If you know me by now, you know that I love routines. You know that my baby, she's only 2 months. Well, she's 3 months in a couple of days. She already knows when it's nap time. She already knows when it's time to go to bed for the night. She already knows all the cues. Like, it's hard, but I promise you, it is the best thing you could ever do. So this goal of mine to reach this weight, I'm talking about weight, it could be anything else for you, but for me personally right now is to reach this weight because of pregnancy. So what do I need to do? I need to write down everything that I do on a day-to-day, right? Adding the newborn, okay? Write it down. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow through, because that's another thing. We can write everything down, but if we have nobody else to take us have an accountability partner or accountability person, because you may think like, Teresa, who is your accountability person? You might think your husband, maybe you have a entrepreneur friend that is your accountability partner. No, it's literally myself and my mind. Okay. I'm like when I wear this dress and how I look, oh my gosh, that is my accountability. So I have to do it. And plus, remember that I have built this self-discipline years now. Thanks to the military, thanks also to my husband. But now my husband pretty much lets me do whatever I want, and that's like not good. I write it down and then I check it off and do it, even if it takes everything in me. Write everything down. Dream about it. What would you look? How would you look, Teresa, with a nice black dress, okay? December, Christmas time. That is my dream, right? So write it down, check it off. And it's just such a satisfaction to see your to-do list just get smaller during the day. Like as an eye towards the end of the day, it is such an awesome feeling to say, wow, I finally accomplished that. And that's how you start building self-discipline every day. Because you're not going to wake up with self-discipline, or by listening to this podcast today, and then the next day you're like, oh, well, I have self-discipline. No, it's literally doing little things on a day-to-day. There's a saying, I think it goes, it takes 20 days to build a habit. You have to build habits, healthy habits, right? So doing that, I promise you, your life is going to change. So step four, practice daily diligence, okay? Yeah, we aren't born with self-discipline, like I mentioned, but it's a trait. And just like any other skill, you want to master it. It requires daily practice and repetition. Step 5, change your perception, okay? Super point about willpower, aka mindset. We talk about this way too much. You've heard about it a million times, too many times to not get it. If you believe you have a limited amount of willpower, you probably won't surpass those limits. So if you believe that your life sucks because whatever happened in the past or whatever, guess what? You are staying right there where you are sick and tired of being. Step 6, find trusted coaches and mentors. Okay. So the development of a expertise requires coaches who are capable of giving constructive and even painful feedback. Real experts are extremely motivated students who seek out such feedback. And I want here's a pro tip. Here's a professional tip. Deliberately pick unsentimental coaches who will challenge you and drive you to higher levels of performance. If you see a coach on social media and you think, man, this coach will be perfect because she is so soft-spoken, she knows what she's talking about, right? She's just great. She makes a lot of money, and maybe I can make a lot of money too. But if you're the type of person that can't hold a to-do list, maybe that's not the type of coach you need. You need somebody that's going to tell you what it is, why it is, and it's time to execute. Because if you're that person that needs to push, you can't get somebody who also can be pushed. You know what I'm saying? So if you get somebody that can be pushed, maybe that's not the right coach for you, no matter how much money that person makes. That's a food for thought, okay? Last step, step 7, right? Forgive yourself and move forward. Right? Just forgive yourself if you stumble, okay? Because we are humans. Find the cause by asking the 5 whys and move on. Next thing. Don't dwindle. Don't, let yourself get wrapped up in guilt or in anger or frustration, because those emotions will only drag you further down and impede future progress. So as the cliche quote goes, okay, there is nothing you can't do if you set your mind to it. So I know you want it. I know you dream about it. I know it keeps you up. So do it. Because once you do it, once you accomplish it, you're going to be the happiest person on the planet. I guarantee it. All right. So this is all I have for you today. If you have any questions about this episode or any other, let's chat on the DMs. Catch me on Insta at Teresa G. Sivak. And if this episode resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, and you want to shout us out, okay, I would extremely honored to appear on your stories and tag me so I can thank you and shout you right back, okay? So I'll catch you soon on the next episode.